Back with Frankie. So are you surprised, Frankie, that the league did not contact Sam Bennett at all, or that Sam Bennett didn't hear from the Department of Player Safety? And my follow-up to that is, do you expect some retribution from the Maple Leafs in game number 2?
All right, let's start with part one. No, I'm not surprised that there's no supplemental discipline for the play. And I understand that everyone's concerned for Anthony Stolarz, the injury, and these are things that should face some kind of penalty, but the penalty should have been 2 minutes for goaltender interference. And that doesn't get called. But if you look at the play itself, and everyone's talked about this a million times now, but it's not a play that would go to the Department of Player Safety and say that this is a suspension. Now, the outcome is bad for Anthony Stolarz, and that leads to our second point. Is there going to be some kind of retribution by Toronto within the parameters of the game where you're not doing something undisciplined? Why not? Why not use this situation to gain some kind of something in this series, some kind of momentum, get some excitement into the building, on the bench, within the group. So, yeah, if someone wants to go out there and challenge Sam Bennett, he's a big boy.
Yeah, I was going to say.
He's fought before. Yeah. He hits guys. Yeah. He hits people in the head. He should take that challenge. But at the same time, it can't be something that is retaliatory in nature, that is going to put your team at a disadvantage, whether it's a 2-minute penalty or a 5-minute penalty, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Do it within the parameter of the game that makes sense for your group to try and gain some kind of edge.
Do you feel like, quick follow-up, that maybe they missed an opportunity to do that in game number 1 after it happened, while they still had the lead? I wondered, they asked Craig Berube about it after the game. He had a bit of a pause. The guys on Overdrive talked about it on Tuesday. You wonder if he wondered why there wasn't a response in the moment.
My read on this situation, I've been on the ice, in a penalty kill, right? Yeah. And you're focused on where the puck is, and you're trying to follow the play. Yeah. And you look and you're like, what happened to the goalie?
Right.
And then if it's not something that is a high velocity, big impact type play, it's easy to not see that happen. So I understand in the moment, right there when that injury occurred, or you think the injury occurred, that nothing really happened. And then afterwards, if you're on the bench, you're on the team, you see your goaltender come over, he's puking. Yeah. Well, you don't really know. You don't put that together in real time. Afterwards, everyone's going to put the pieces together. So I get it. Maybe if there was, someone who caught on to everything, you would say, well, why don't you do something in the moment? You also have to remember they had a game to win at the time, and the game was heating up. But yeah, going into the next game, it almost feels like the table gets set for something to happen, someone to step up and say, hey, we're not going to forget what happened last game. Yep. You're going to have to do something about it, and we're going to have to call your bluff.
Okay, let's talk about the goaltending situation. On a scale of 1 to 10, your confidence level in Joe Woll carrying the load for this team as Stolarz is out for a significant amount of time.
Call it in the high 6s to low 7s. Can we do that? Can
Sure.
I give you a range? Because Joseph Woll, when asked upon in the playoffs in years past, has been good. He was good last year against the Boston Bruins. He was good 2 years ago against the Florida Panthers. And if you look at what he did this year, there were stretches where Anthony Stolarz was out and Joseph Woll was really good. And this became a conversation as far as who's going to be the guy who starts. The reason why we were having those conversations was because of the play of Joseph Woll matching what Anthony Stolarz did in the early parts of the regular season. So there should be all the confidence in the world that Joseph Woll can come in and play at the top of his game, give his team a chance to win, and that's all you can ask for if you're the Toronto Maple Leafs. Anthony Stolarz was the starter for a reason. We get that. But Joseph Woll shouldn't be a massive step down from what you were getting in play from Anthony Stolarz.
Speaking of injury issues, I want to talk about Jets forward Mark Scheifeles. It's potential good news if you're a Jets fan. He skated for a second day in a row on Tuesday in a non-contact jersey. For the first time since suffering an upper body injury, Game 5 against the Blues, defenseman Josh Morrissey and Logan Stanley skated prior to optional practice, but did not take part in the skate with their teammates. Out of the three, it appears Scheifeles is actually the closest Winnipeg Jet to returning to the lineup.
Today was the first day for Josh, so that was great. For Scheif, he was on yesterday, so he's been on actually sneaking in there. So, so it's a good sign to see them out there and participating. Stan, first day today for him as well. So, all part of that. We'll go day to day here, obviously, and see where they're at for tomorrow. And, they got to wake up tomorrow and see if they've improved from today.
Game time decisions.
Yep.
I really like, his personality starting to come out a little bit more, which I really
Playoffs will
appreciate.
do that too.
Yeah,
right?
I think so. I think so. So the Stars are the favorites in the series, Frankie. How much of a chance are you giving Winnipeg if they don't have Scheifele or Morrissey or even Stanley for a significant amount of time?
Well, let's just throw it out there. Hopefully, those guys are back. And more importantly, it's, Mark Scheifele and Josh Morrissey, because those guys are such key contributors to the team. How much of a chance do they have? Of course they have a chance. The Winnipeg Jets are a very good team. And I'm not going to give you the cliche answer and say that, with your top guys out, you have to do it by committee. That goes without saying. But the Winnipeg Jets will have to rely on their team play now more than ever. And if you watch them play throughout the regular season, you really notice when they're at their best, it's 5-man units up and down the ice, not giving you any time and space, and they're a good offensive team. What we've seen this year, that is the Jets, plus great goaltending. We saw that a lot in the regular season, and hopefully that can kind of come to fruition here in the second round. But of course, if the Winnipeg Jets can play as a team, tight and compact, and not allowing the Dallas Stars any free space, then they will have a chance in this series. If they don't do that, then we will see the omissions of Scheifele and Morrissey in the lineup not going to bode well for the team. It depends how they play as a team.
Connor Hellebuyck, we've talked about him so much in that first round, how he struggled. And yet in Game 7, when it was all said and done, he came up big in overtime. He looked good down the stretch. Does that give you a little more confidence in Hellebuyck as we head into round 2?
It has to.
Yeah.
You have to grab something from Connor Hellebuyck and say, we saw this, so we know in the second round that maybe we can see the regular season version. That's what I'm waiting for. We did not see regular season version of Connor Hellebuyck in that first round, but they still got the win. That's a testament to the team and their ability to find ways to score goals and score big goals at the right time. If Connor Hellebuyck can play regular season Hellebuyck hockey in the second round, then this team has a legitimate chance. But I guess if you look at it, all the pressure that he would have been facing from the first round, that's gone now. Now you're in the second round. So maybe you can grab a hold of that and say, I don't have to carry the weight of this first round and our team not winning games after losses and our team really stumbling. So you don't have to carry that anymore. You just have to be yourself. And hopefully Connor Hellebuyck can get back to that. And there's no reason why he can't. He's a very good goaltender. He's very talented. He's just got to find it seems like, between the ears to kind of find that game that he has in the regular season.
He says he studied goaltending more than any other human on the planet.
In the world, yes.
Right? This gives him more time to do that. He's got a little bit more time to do that, but not that much time. Game 1 will be Wednesday night in Winnipeg. Dallas will be in town.